Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. I hope you had a good week. It is Friday and we're going to do some lunchtime laps. But first we're going to get into some of the cars that are in the wooden case, otherwise known as my rankings. I do have a lot of cars in a lot of different ranks. I have a Bsides, which is cars that aren't quite fast enough, but I don't want to get rid of them, so we keep reworking them, and that's an ongoing thing. But I wanted to get into, because it was asked if I would go through the top tier and my case rankings and kind of elaborate on the effort it takes. It's a lot of work to have ranks, to keep them in order, to keep them rolling. So what you see here on the first two rows, all the way to the right here is my top tier. And what I do is I go number 1 all the way down to number 19. And then I go up 20, all the way up to number 39, which is the gatekeeper. And there is one missing. It's my Mustang. He's on his way back from Blue Line. But these are the top tier. And then it goes in rank from there, which I took out my 30 gram and under out of the wood case, so I had more room for the top tier. So this is how I rank as far as 30 grams and under, and I only keep 8 of those. And then we go up to 31 to 40.99 weight class, and it goes 1 to 19 and then 20 up to 39, which the gatekeeper is a Kenner fast one. So this is the 39 or 31 to 40 weight class. And these cars have been ran, tested, reworked, worked. Some of them have been in here for a while. That Fiero has been in here for quite some time. You remember crock rods, those finding their way in here. Of course, the Valvoline Turbo Tram, which we're going to run my newest Turbo Tram here shortly. And very few modern castings in any of the weight classes. Next we'll go over to the 40 to 50, 41 to 50 weight class. Of course, Eamon's Crazy Bird is my fastest road runner so far, and he's number 1 in this class. And it's the same. The left side here is 1 to 19 and then 20 to 39. Some new, some old, some been around for a while. Came out of a 3-pack. Surprised me when he produced the speed that he did. But a lot of these have come from the pick your pack races. Some of them come from the shelf upstairs. Discovering speed, laying around. Some were gifts from other channels. So the 31 to 40 weight class, or 41 to 50 weight class, I'm sorry. 41 to 50. And then next will be the 51 to 61. Here's where all the bipolar Fairmonts are located. I do have a couple of fast ones. Not elite, but fast for the rank. The one missing is, I believe, one that fell out of the rankings, and for some reason I just never filled that slot yet. I do have one fast Fire Eaters at number 32. Solaire, of course. And these by no means, I mean, I am definitely not the fastest guy out there. I have been building these ranks for going on 3 years now, and it is work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of coin, trial and error. Eventually you get past the point to wishing cars were fast and going after actual speed. 62 gram and up. I like the way the ranks are. This is the way Brandon does it over at Scale Racing, and it makes a whole lot of sense because it keeps all the funny cars out of the 51 to 61. And because all the funny cars, well, they're fast and they dominate, and so they need to be in the heavyweights, strictly the heavyweight class. But there's a lot of funny cars that are in there, and this is the 1 to 20 side. So a lot of effort and time goes into keeping ranks and keeping up with cars. When something new comes in, I got to go through everything again and kind of pinpoint and gauge where they might fall in the rankings, which we'll demonstrate here with the newest turbo Tram. It's been brought to my attention that he should have another shot. He does not like this lane, and I agree, because man, if it holds true, this should be like a 207, 2082, so that's pretty fast. Gatekeeper to the top tier. 2082 is a pretty good time. I mean, for ranking, for beginning the top tier. Doesn't get him there. I'm sure Kyle will run a better than a 2.8. He'll run a 2086. I don't know why the Turbo Tram don't like that other lane. It must sit up a little high, but then he runs that 2078. This is what I don't understand. So he would have to, legitimately, he would get into the top tier here. And Mr. Kyle will race the number 1 Murata Stalker as soon as we get done with this Turbo Tram. So next up in the top tier is the Buzz Lightyear Kyle Petty. Let's see what that Turbo Tram does. See if he can get him. Ooh. Turbo Tram's definitely a nice roller. 2090 and a 1000 speed. Let's see if he can replicate that first run. Oh yeah, he gets in there. 2083. So he's rolling good. Definitely appreciate the feedback from the viewers, because a couple of you guys told me to rerun this car. And so we're going to rerun them and see how far up the top tier he can go. It's actually running pretty solid right now. Look at him go. 2083 and a 10,000 speed. So I finally have a fast Turbo Tram. It only took about, I think this is my 4th one. which isn't bad. Sometimes it could take more. 208.3 and a bigger beat. So that would put the Turbo Tram at number 38 in the top tier ranking. So we'll run Kyle against this red Murata Stalker. Stalker hasn't been out in a while since it got in, I don't think. So we'll see what he does. Ooh, look at Kyle go. 208.3. We'll see if the Murata can answer back. Oh, yeah. But only with an 8.4. Wow. So the Murata falls to number 2. And old Kyle takes first in the 51 to 61 rank. So after each race, we just had the bracket race. I would take a closer look at some of and run these off and see if any of them have any kind of speed, which I don't think any of these do. I'm going to test out the truck and probably the Camaro and the Cadillac off camera and see what they do. But then I'll take the winners, weigh them up. 41 to 50 weight class is the Bird. And he's the third Bird. So we'll put a number 3 on him. So Eamon's Crazy Bird would be the original. The number 1 would be the second one. This one's number 3. He ran pretty good times in the bracket race. 2103. Definitely not as fast as the original. .210. So we run him back through the speed shop one more time. So this will be his third treatment at the speed shop. Where now he's running a 209.7. And we'll see if he can beat Eamon's Crazy Bird. No, 209.1 to 9.5 though. The number 3 on the inside lane now. And Eamon's Crazy Bird runs away with it. And that's why he's number 1. He's close to, he was in the top tier. But we've gotten faster since the Bird. Let's see, 209.7. We'll skip down. Let's check out the number 12 Gold Hot Ones Corvette. And we'll see how he fares against the Vet. That gets him 209.3. We'll try my second Dodge Daytona. He sits at number 20. Not to be confused with top tier Daytona. Ooh, he does get him. 209.7 and a 5,000 speed. See if that Daytona can punch back. Not with a 9.3. So we'll see what he does against my first Soldier 76. And the reason I got a bunch of these is because they hang out in my Kroger stores. And they show potential for speed. And when you have slim pickings like you do around Scalperville here, you gotta kind of pick up what you can get. It's a good thing we got the toy show coming up at the end of the month. We'll send Isaiah, the racing sleuth. He comes up with some good ones. And that is why I like the Soldier 76. He stops that bird dead in his tracks. See if the Soldier 76 can take out your Nightmares F-150. Trying to climb the ranks. Oh, he does. 9.4 to 9.9. This is definitely the fastest Goodyear F-150 I have. I'm sure I can get a couple more ticks out of them if I rework them. But so far, 209.4 and a 5,000 speed. Cut a 209.0 and a 7,000 speed keeps the truck right where he's at. Always good to if you have a rank like this, I don't know exactly how Brandon does it, but I know he goes through a similar process where he tests the consistency, and you definitely need to be consistent in keeping the ranks. Of course, the B-sides, a whole different ball of wax. I'm going to end up reworking all of these cars which fell out of the case ranks, and having a B-sides tournament, probably some more bracket racing, since quite a few, including myself, like the bracket style racing. And the last one for this edition of the Lunchtime Laps, we'll take a look at that very surprising Nissan Skyline with the eeny weeny teeny tiny wheels. I don't get it either, but we're going to get a better look at them. I ran them through the speed shop again. Let's run them down a couple of times, weigh him up, and see where he's at. This is my second Skyline like this. Look at him go. Are you kidding me? 31 to 40 weight class. Number one in the 31 to 40, and for a while now has been this Evo, color changing Evo. And he's no slouch. Let's see if the Skyline can eat his lunch. Oh man, 10,000 speed. Can the Evo punch back with a greater than 10,000 speed in a 2092? No, he cannot. Now we are going to run him one more time, because that's for the number one spot. 2097 and a 5,000 speed. 2089 is this Skyline. Are you kidding me? And there you have it. Just like that, that Nissan Skyline is the first in the 31 to 40 weight class. He doesn't come close to the top tier times, but man, he's a look at those wheels. I can't explain it either, but I'm stoked to have him in there. I like the Skyline, and that's that. I definitely have some more to go through as the weeks and months begin to stack up here. So from all of us here at Mile High Raceway, from Elevation Diecast Racing, if your car isn't fast, at least it'll look good on the shelf. And unfortunately, tonight's Friday Night Lightning has been postponed until next week. Hope you folks have a good rest of your Friday. See ya.